Now, it's over to Peter Webster. In the Sounds of Brass newsroom, for this week's latest Sounds of Brass news.
I'm Peter Webster, and welcome to this week's Brass Band News here on Sounds of Brass Radio. If you play in sections 1 through 4, your September weekend away has just had a major postcode change. Earlier this month, Capital Promotions officially announced the national finals will no longer be held at the centre at Cheltenham Racecourse. Instead, the 2026 finals are heading north to the historic city of York. Specifically, the event will take place at the York Barbican over the weekend of the 19th and 20th of September. This is a massive shift. Cheltenham has hosted the lowest section finals since 2011. And while the venue has served a logistical purpose, let's be candid. Many of the banding movement have voiced frustrations over the years about the somewhat sterile acoustic atmosphere of the hall. It's a huge room, and it can be incredibly tough for a fourth section band to fill that space with warmth and resonance. Phil Morris, Managing Director of Capital Promotions, explained that the decision was driven by a desire to provide performers with a prestigious, world-class live event environment. The York Barbican, refurbished in 2011, is a dedicated indoor entertainment venue with a 1,400-seat auditorium right in the city centre. Not only does this promise a much better acoustic experience for the bands, but it also solves the ongoing headache of university term date clashes that previously limited venue options. Capital also noted that York offers a geographically centre position in Great Britain, making travel distances broadly comparable whether you are coming up from the West Country or down from Scotland. It's an incredible, exciting move. A massive thank you must go to the operations team at Cheltenham for their years of hard work, but I think we can all agree that hearing our finest lower section bands in a purpose-built concert venue like the Barbican is going to be a brilliant step forward for the movement. Hotel booking providers have already been notified, so if you fancy your chances at the areas, you might want to get looking at York accommodation sooner rather than later. Let's talk about the regional championships. We are currently midway through the 2026 area series, and the standard so far has been nothing short than truly spectacular. Let's start with the Midlands Regionals, which took place last weekend in Bedworth. In the championship section, it was the Gust Band under the baton of Christopher Bond who took the top honours. They delivered a magnificent account of Martin Ellaby's Elgar Variations, with the flugel player Ryan Cave taking home the Best Instrumentalist award. Desford Colliery, directed by Ian Porthouse, secured a second place. Both bands will be heading to the Royal Albert Hall this October. Down to the first section in the Midlands, it was Rushden Town, conducted by Adele Hudson, who claimed the title on Andrew Wainwright's variation on Vas le Bête, with Rounds Temperance taking the runners-up spot. A huge well done to Market Raisin for winning the third section, and Cumbington Silver for their victory in the fourth. At the Yorkshire Area 2026 Championship section, the results were Brighouse and Rastrick, who took the third spot. The Grindthorpe Colliery Band that took second place, and winning the championship section, playing Elgar Variations by Martin Ellaby, was awarded to Hepworth Band. Moving over to the Northwest Regionals in Blackpool earlier this month, always one of the most fearful contest weekends in the calendar. No surprise at the very top as Foden's band successfully retained the championship section title under Russell Gray. KNDS Furry took second and Pemberton Old Wigan DW secured third place. However, the real emotional highlights of the Northwest came in the first section, where Haydock Band, conducted by Mark Quinn, claimed their very first area title win at this level. It is a phenomenal achievement that builds on their victory at the Five Charities contest last year. They'll be packing their bags for York, I'm sure, alongside Lostock Hall Memorial, who won the second section. Ollerton Brass took third, and Wardle Community Band, who triumphed in the fourth. Meanwhile, over in Swansea at the Bragwinning Hall, the Welsh second section results have been announced. Markham and District, conducted by Gary Davis, are the champions. They navigated Philip Harper's nautical test piece, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, beautifully to impress adjudicators Dr. Robert Charles and Martin Hartfield. Abertillery Town took a very well-deserved second place. Let's take a look beyond the English and Welsh borders now. Over in Northern Ireland, the prestigious BBNI Brass in Concert contest recently took place in 5 Miles Town. The entertainment factor was through the roof, but in the championship section, it was First Old Boys who stole the show, conducted by Dr. Jonathan Corey. They defended their title in absolute style, astonishingly. This is the band's 7th contest win in a row since October 2024. Their winning set included a spectacular xylophone duet of Lilisteria by Conor Brannigan and Aisling Ardif. In a remarkable tight finish for the podium, Laganvale Metal Technology Band took the runners-up spot by the music point Neck from Stradbarn Brass. Congratulations to CWA Brass, who took the second section title, and Dynamic Brass, who won the third section. For the First Old Boys, that victory is the perfect launch pad as they prefer to represent Northern Ireland in the Challenge section at the European Brass Championships next month. Speaking of the EBBC, the countdown is officially on from the 22nd to the 26th of April 2026. The Brass Band World will descend upon Linz, Austria. The iconic Bruxenhazer Concert Hall, sitting right on the banks of the Danube, will host 28 bands from 15 different countries. The Austrian hosts are pulling out all the stops, and in a brilliant move to showcase their homegrown talent, all the bespoke test pieces for the sections have actually been written by Austrian composers. The legendary Thomas Doss has penned the set work for the championship section, which is guaranteed to be a thrilling, complex test for Europe's elite. Meanwhile, Andreas Zeigelbach has composed for the challenge section, Otto Schwarz for the premier section, and Thomas Murer for the development section. The gala concert on the 25th of April will feature none other than Felix Geraldinger, the spectacular winner of the 2008 European Soloist Competition. If you are lucky enough to be making the trip to Linz, it's promising to be an absolute festival of brass. It's time now for a look at the wider banding sector, starting with some prominent personal changes. Foden's band, fresh off their Northwest area victory and the spectacular showcase at the Royal Northern College of Music International Brass Band Festival earlier this year, have announced some changes to their cornet ranks. After an incredible 19 years of impeccable service, Andy Rolfe has stepped back from full-time banding, and he has been a stalwart of the Fordham's back row and management team, and he now steps into the role as a trustee. To fill the gap, the band has made a stellar signing in Adrian Lacey, who joins the second cornet. Adrian brings a wealth of experience, having previously served as principal cornet for the Staffordshire Building Society band for a decade, followed by a stint on the front row at Grimethorpe. Fordham has also welcomed Darcy Dewhurst to the front row. A massive congratulations to Andy on his retirement and welcome to the new players. For our younger listeners out there, if you've ever dreamt of playing in a national ensemble, then listen up, this is for you. The National Youth Brass Band of Great Britain, the NYBBGB, has just announced a trio of free audition skill workshops. Stepping into an audition room can be one of the most nerve-wracking things a musician can do. Regardless of age, these workshops are actually designed specifically to equip young players with the mental and practical tools they need to shine when it counts. If you have a young brass musician in your house, head over to the NYBBGB website and get them signed up. It is an absolute fantastic, completely free resource. And finally, on this week's Brass Band News, a powerful new all-female brass ensemble with percussion is set to make waves in the music world while inspiring the next generation of performers. Dynamic, a newly formed 11-piece ensemble, brings together exceptionally talented young brass and percussion players from across the UK. The group was founded with a clear mission to showcase gifted female brass and percussion players, expand opportunities for young women in music, and use performance as a vehicle for education, outreach and social impact. Dynamic will deliver concerts, workshops and educational events throughout the UK, encouraging young girls to consider taking up brass instruments and helping to raise the profile of emerging female performers. The ensemble also supports members in using their musical work towards Duke of Edinburgh Awards, volunteering and other community initiatives. Live from the Sounds of Brass newsroom, I'm Peter Webster, and that was your weekly catch-up of all your brass band entertainment and brass band world news.